By the way, you know that guy, who's that guy with the cowboy hat that defends everybody? Jerry Spence?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this guy, Jerry Spence, apparently is this big defense attorney who wears a buckskin coat and an old cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And that goes well. The jury's like that.
Yeah. That guy's a standout.
Yeah, so you want to get that guy. So anyways, apparently at the end of every trial, you know, the guy, his client's always clearly guilty. You know? And then this guy, this is his final statement. He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen," he goes, "I'd like to tell you a story about a young, foolish boy who had a bird. And he came up to a wise old man. He said, in my hand, I may or may not have a bird. No, and in my hand, I have a bird. If you say A, I will crush the bird, or perhaps I'll set him free. If you say B, I will crush the bird, or else I will set him free. It is up to you, old man, wise old man. You just say A or B, and we'll see what happens with the bird." The wise old man said, "Son, the bird is in your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, the bird is in your hand. Thank you." 2 minutes later, "Not guilty!" Every time. That's all they remember. They don't remember any of the evidence. They're like, "That bird story makes a good point there, you know." We can't risk killing a bird. So anyways.
I sometimes tell a story in very special cases about an old man and a smart-aleck boy and a bird. And this is a very special case. And I want to leave you with this story because it's an important story. It's a story about a smart-aleck boy who wanted to show off an old man and to make a fool out of an old man. And the smart-aleck boy had a plan as to how he was going to make a fool out of the old man. He'd found a bird out in the wilderness, a little bird that he brought to he had in his hand. And his plan was to go up to the old man and say to the old man, "Old man, what do I have in my hand?" And the wise old man would say, "You have a bird, my son." And then the smart-aleck boy's plan was to say, "But wise old man, is the bird alive or is it dead?" And if the old man said the bird is dead, then the smart-aleck boy would open his hands and the bird would fly off free into the forest and into the woods. But if the old man said the bird is alive, then the smart-aleck boy figured that he would crush it until all of the life was out of the bird and it was dead. He would open his hands and say, "See, wise old man, the bird is dead." And so the smart-aleck boy went to the old man and he said, "Old man, what do I have in my hands?" And the old man said, "You have a bird, my son." He said, "Old man, is the bird alive or is it dead?" And the old man said, "The bird is in your hands, my son." And so, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I give you and place into your hands the history of this country and the case of Lee Harvey Oswald. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spence. Mr. Bullios.
Little kid walking down down the hall of his house.
Yeah.
Hears screaming in his parents' bedroom. Opens the door. There's his father dressed only in chaps. His mother's dressed in a cheerleading outfit, no underwear. They're really having fun. What's going on? He said, "Oh, don't worry, sweetheart. We're just having fun. Go back to bed. I'll be down there and tuck you in a minute." 20 minutes later, father walks down the hall. He hears screaming in the kid's bedroom. Opens the door. There's his kid having sex with his grandmother. He says, "Billy, what are you doing?" He said, "It's not so funny when it's your mother, is it?"
The stylings of Super Dave Osborne in studio. Norm Macdonald and his brother Neil Macdonald on tour together sometime very soon. Norm's in town at Zany's. Zany's all weekend. Zany's.com.
Are you in Zany's in Chicago?
Yeah, you know that place?
Of course, that's a great place.
How do you know it?
I don't.
I knew he was going
But
to.
you know something? Any place that's called Zany's is great.
Yeah, that's
I thought comedians were supposed to do witty repartee and not tell jokes.
Ooh. That's Neil Macdonald talking to Super Dave right now. Once again, the
You know
question.
what? I
Neil
gotta say
Macdonald is a
something.
blank.
May I say something?
Oh, that's the old match game stuff. Norm used to sit in front of the television and watch match games. He only had.
I've been in this business a while, and I've never heard anybody say what he just said. I've never heard anybody say witty. Even in class, when I was a class clown,
what about the witty
the teacher never stopped me like that. I've heard witty repartee before, but that's silent.
No, but aren't you supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage?
Show.
Wait a minute. Neil said a word. Wait.
Bring this thing right off the air. If you got anybody listening, I'll just stop it.
Neil, I heard you say something that I hadn't heard ever. Would you say that last line again that Super Dave was talking about?
Aren't comedians supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage? You know, the witty back and forth. What happened to that?
Badinage is like
Listen,
a badminton term.
I said you weren't listening at the first part of the show when I did my repartee badinage. Whatever the hell you're talking about.
Badinage. But Norm, it was so funny. Norm, as a real friend, you tried to explain to me in the studio, he was going like, it's like a badminton game. You know, it's like,
it is a badminton term originally. Yeah.
Now, why didn't you say badminton?
Yeah, Neil Macdonald, Norm's brother, why didn't you say badminton? Make it easy for us.
No, badinage is a badminton term.
A tournament. Yeah. Badinage.
No, I'm actually funnier than Norman. He's just got the professional kit.
Do you think that's why you haven't called each other back? Is that why there's some hatred
I was
there?
reluctant to come on this show because I'm going to get a lot of calls now, you know.
Norm is hysterical. I'm going to go to Zany's. How do I get there?
All right, here's how you get to Zany's. You go to Zany's, there's Super Dave. You go to Zany's tonight through Saturday. Norm will be there. Zany's in St. Charles. Then tomorrow and Saturday, Zany's in Vernon Hills. Zany's.com, Super Dave.
And Norm's brother Neil will be at a badminton event.
Neil, say goodbye to Norm.
Goodbye, Norm.
Say goodbye to Super Dave. Hey,
Talk
by the
to
way,
you again in a few years.
Wait a second now. See, tell him you'll call him back.
Sure, man. I'll call.
No, you won't.
Of course.
Will you?
Yes.
All right. Well, can I give Super Dave Neil's number?
Yeah.
Oh, just don't do that.
What am I going to call Neil for? You know, what am I going to do? I'm in a good mood. I don't want to blow the whole thing.
No, he can call me up and we can trade bars, you know.
We're at an all-time low in world opinion, and I'm going to call Neil to pep me up.
He just
Hey,
said.
Neil, how you doing? What's your badminton term today? What's your term of the day that I can take with me all day and pep me up?
No. Call me anytime.
I am going to
I'm
give
gonna
Super
call
Dave.
Neil.
I'm giving you the number. He said
Neil ought to be on Match Game.
That's a match game. Neil ought to be on match game. Hey, he said, by the way.
I'll take Neil to win.
He said.
He's a
What
super
did the
blank.
cat say when it came out of the pet shop going meow?
What did what?
No, he's going to tell a joke now. Go ahead. It's going to be good.
Norm, you know what? I don't know how you wound up funny. That's all I can tell you. I have no concept. You must have run away from home when you were 3. Do you have any other funny brothers and sisters? Let's get them all on the phone. We can destroy Brandmeier forever.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to hear the joke, man.
Go ahead,
So do
Neil.
I.
Come on, Super. Tell me the joke.
You have a joke, Neil?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
No, he said, do you have a joke, Neil?
No, I'm not telling Neil another joke.
No,
You would have to pay me.
All right, Neil.
Yeah, I do. I got one.
Tuesday. Come and pay him.
I got one.
Oh, wait.
A priest is checking into a hotel, and he says to the woman behind the counter, I assume the porn channel in my room is disabled. And she says, no, it's regular porn, you sick bastard.
The the comedy stylings of Neil Macdonald, Norm's older brother, Super Dave Osborne, blown off the map today by that. Wow. Hey, Super, let me hear you.
I have a joke.
Yeah. Oh, Norm's got a joke. Wait a minute. Here we go. Go.
A dog walks into a telegraph office where they send telegrams. Telegram office, right? And so the guy says, "Okay, what do you want your telegram to read?" So the dog goes, "Woof woof woof, woof woof woof, woof woof woof." And then the guy goes, "Oh, I notice you have 9 words. Do you want to put an extra woof like it's for free?" And then the dog goes, "No, that wouldn't make any sense."
You know, I love Norm Macdonald. I gotta tell you, I love him. Because he'll do that at the dinner table too. Hey, here's one. A guy's having trouble with his wife, so he calls his best. Hey, Neil, are you off the phone?
Neil, will you get off the phone so Super can tell his joke?
I just finished writing down that great porn joke, Neil. I won't have to put my finger in my mouth if I get sick to my stomach anymore. I told you I'm not a professional. A guy's having trouble with his wife, so he calls his best friend. He said, "You got to meet me at a bar. I got to talk to you." So they go to a bar. He starts drinking. He drinks so much he throws up in his shirt. He says, "Now what am I going to do? I'm going to go home. She's going to scream and she's probably going to hit me." His friend says, "Don't worry about a thing. Tell her you had one drink. The guy next to you overdrank, got sick, and threw up in your shirt. And to prove it, he put $10 in your pocket to get it clean. I'm putting $10 right in there." He said, "You're brilliant." He goes home. He says, "I'm home." She comes downstairs and starts screaming at him. He said, "Listen to me. I had one drink, but a guy at the bar got sick, threw up in my shirt, and to prove it, he put $10 in my pocket to get it clean." She reaches in. She says, "There's $20 here." He says, "I know. He also crapped in my pants."
Super Dave Osborne. Super Dave Osborne. And Norm Macdonald in the studio and his fabulously funny brother Neil Macdonald in Washington, D.C., award-winning journalist. Neil.
Okay, hey, Norm, happy birthday. You're the greatest.
Wait,
fucking zanies, and I hope that we get together.
Oh, you're going to hang up again.
No, yeah, wait a minute. Wait a second. You know what I would love to do? I would love to do some more badinage.
He's a great Canadian. Norm's a great Canadian. He'll probably be mad at me for saying that.
Let's do some badinage.
He's a great Canadian.
What is badinage?
Aren't comedians supposed to be experts in off-the-cuff badinage?
What did you say, Super?
Who cares if he's a great Canadian?
Oh, Super Dave worked in Canada?
I worked for 12 years in Canada. I'm a great Canadian.
Neil, that's a point you could answer. What is the big deal if he is a good Canadian?
What was he doing in Canada, running around in that weird flight suit?
Super Dave was working in Canada.
I did Bizarre, which was the first series in the history of cable, and then I did Super Dave. Yeah, I was running around in that weird flight suit, A-Wipe. That's what I was doing.
Is that an Arab name, A-Wipe?
While you were sitting at home going, what? What is that? Why aren't I watching the Canadian news?
That sounded like Rickles.
I know, I did for a minute.
While you were at home going,
I'm sorry, I got to
While you were at home,
let me apologize. I said I'm sorry.
While you were at home sitting with a rake going, bah!
I said I'm sorry.
I know,
okay?
but Norm said that was very Ricklish.
I said I'm sorry.
He said,
what do you want me to do?
Neil,
I got caught up.
Oh.
Let me explain something to you. Neil can bring things out of you don't normally do.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah. You know what, guys?
If I was captured, I'd rather have bamboo under my fingernails than have Neil come in and talk to me.
No, if I was captured, I'd want to be in a room with Super Dave. I would.
I just love this.
I just think it's interesting that Neil worked in Washington.
Yes.
Which was in the United States, while Super Dave worked in Canada.
Isn't that interesting, Super?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, that's quite an observation, there, Norm.
You were both countries away from each other while you. This is probably the way you're going to stay now, isn't it?
What night are you going to be at Zany's?
What night are you going to be at Zany's?
Tonight and tomorrow and Saturday.
I think he's
And
still.
are you on the road now? When do you come home?
I come home in 12 or 14 days, I think.
Where do you go after Zany's?
I go.
I'm going to be on Canadian television tonight. Almost like you don't care.
No, we care. We love Canada. We love it. What time are you going to be on, Neil Macdonald, Norm's brother?
9 p.m. Eastern.
9 p.m. Eastern.
On the National.
They're on the Canadian National Television.
Yeah.
Super. You got satellite dish?
Yeah, I got a satellite dish.
Well, you might want to watch that.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah, you might want to.
I really might. There's a lot of things I might want to do.
You know what I would love?
I'm going to be doing a piece on the economy there, Super.
Oh, well, that ought to be quick. What are you going to say? It's not so bad.
No, I'm going to say
this is worse than 1929. In case you're interested.
No, I'm going to say that after spending 5 years in this country, being told that I'm from a socialist nation, I'm going to be talking about how the United States government is nationalizing banks and taking over companies and putting trillions of dollars of public money into bailouts. Nothing socialist about that, right?
No, that's interesting. Now, here's the thing. When I did my shows in Canada, the Canadian dollar was 63 cents. And now it's more than the American dollar.
You mean when you were just running around with that crazy suit on?
Oh, you know what, Johnny B?
What?
That did it.
What? No, wait a minute.
That did it.
No.
That was your farewell thing to me, and that's it. I'm going now, and I'm going to take my clothes off and play badminton.
Neil's badmintage. Neil, say goodbye to Super Dave. Say goodbye to Super Dave.
All right, Super.
Goodbye, Neil. Are you leaving?
Nice talking to you, buddy.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'm going.
He wants to.
Getting off?
But we got to keep in touch, you and I. I think we're friends now.
He wants to hear you hang up.
What?
He wants to hear you, Neil. He wants to hear you hang up. So
I'm
go ahead.
not hanging up.
No, Neil is.
And people constantly tell me, or I hear this, funniest man that ever lived.
Mel Brooks.
Do you believe that?
Sure. I mean, I think he's of an era. You know what I mean? I think he's still. I think the amazing thing about him, if you are, you're not wired that way. If you're a Jew and your wiring is Jewish,
okay,
Mel Brooks is going to tap right into that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I understand.
I turned into.
The best was Mel Brooks as the 2,000-year-old man. Still the funniest comedy album ever made. When he says to him, "How'd you live 2,000 years?" He says, "Well, once." I was 400 years old, and I got a tip that the angel of death was coming. And what I did was, I ate a whole clove of garlic, and I got under the covers, and the angel of death tapped me on the shoulder. I turned around and said, "Who is it?" And he went away for 300 years. Mel Brooks.
Does he like the 2,000-year-old man?
Both parts of me.
I'm going to ask you one question about the 2,000-year-old man, then we're going to go to a break.
Okay.
Would not it have been easier to make him a 10,000-year-old man?
As a matter of fact, I was wrong making him a 2,000-year-old man because I asked him questions that happened before 2000. I asked him about Moses, and I realized, it was my mistake. Anyway, that's my fault. Steve Allen is the guy who is responsible for the 2,000-year-old man getting on record.
Oh, he is?
We did it at parties for years, 10 years. Mel and I did the 2,000-year-old man just for fun.
Yeah.
And everybody says, you got to put it on record, you got to put it on record. And we said, no, this is only for Jews and non-anti-Semitic Gentiles. And finally, Steve Allen said, fellas, if you don't do it, George Burns says, if you don't, he saw it at a party, if you don't put it on a record, I'm going to steal it. And Edward G. Robinson said, put it on a record. He says, I want to make a play. I want to make a play out of that. Make a play out of that. That's what he said. Make a play out of that. I want to play the 1,000-year-old man. I says, 2,000. I can play any age. And it was Steve Allen who said, fellas, take my studio, go wail. And we did. We wailed for 2 hours, cut it down to 47 minutes, and there it was.
Now, in that story, Edward G. Robinson's the funny man.
Yeah.
Steve Allen just let you use the studio. But it was you who created the 2,000-year-old man. Not even Mel Brooks. You.
Yes.
Mel Brooks is amazing. He's doing the show next week.
Is he?
Yeah.
There's nobody funnier.
What show?
I've interviewed. He's doing your show here.
Yeah.
I've interviewed every funny person in the world. You're very funny. Yeah. There's nobody.
Am I second?
Because Mel Brooks is a freaking genius. I had him on my show the night Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. right?
Allegedly.
He's on my radio show.
Allegedly. But also, really.
Yeah.
But
Okay, my guess is the 2,000-year-old man tonight. Man has landed on the moon. What do you think of that? And out of nowhere, he says, I love the moon. The moon, in my whole life, 2,000 years, is my favorite thing is the moon. I said, why? He says, because for 400 years, I thought I had a cataract. And one day, this guy named Irving said, isn't the moon beautiful tonight? I said, the what?
Irving.
No, that's funny.
Mel, hop on the left. All right.
Let me count my fingers for you, Carl Reiner said. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the left hand. So when, this will be our day, but there'll be a lot of tourists in the future who might notice that I had 6 fingers on my left hand. If they're aware, but they're all from Des Moines, they'll never notice it.
that's the best part of the picture right there. I'm crazy about that guy. I love him. I can't get enough of him.
Adorable. Mel Brooks.
How did you start in the film business?
I mostly like this one. Yes, who is it? Mel Brooks. Yes? Well, I got free coffees. I got free coffees here to someone inside. Can I come in? Then I came in and said, I got no coffee. It's Mel Brooks. I'm in show business. And they let me in. And I.
So you're an Oscar winner. We were just discussing the Oscars. I don't know if you were paying attention.
Yes, I am an Oscar winner.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to thank.
Are you going to use yours for a doorstop?
Still thinking.
My Oscar.
Where is your Oscar?
My Oscar's living in Detroit now. Well.
in this film, High Anxiety, you sing, and I cannot judge whether it's good or not. But you write your own songs, you sing your own songs, you act your own films, you direct them, you write them.
Well, if you hire other people, you have to pay them money. Saves a few dollars when you do everything yourself, you know what I mean?
They're the greatest people in the world. They have heart, they have soul, they have time, they have a joy, a joie de vivre.
Joie de vivre.
Yes. The French have a joie de vivre.
That's true.
Jews have a
Your son, the tall one. Believe it or not, I have brothers and a mother. Everybody in my family is about 4'3", 4'4". I am called Stretch at home.
An older appearance, to look like a person, you know? He's a silly kid. He's just really a silly kid. I really love you. I really love you.
Well, you keep saying...
I really love you.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Really, this...
I don't fall in love with guys, you know what I mean? I'm pretty tough myself. But every once in a while, a beauty comes along and...
Professional singer. I'm not even a professional actor. I'm not a professional director. I am a professional tailor. Stand up. I'll show you. Take in here. He is nice. He is good to crowd.
Very good.
Here we can make here, under the arms. I am... Sit down, please.
Beautiful, thank you.
You just made a film in Yugoslavia.
Yes.
Is that not true?
That's true, sir.
Why would you go to Yugoslavia when you could... Can't you find locations in America that look like Yugoslavia? Oh, there's no time for you to answer that. We will be
I'm going to answer it anyway. I don't care about your stinking commercial.
We'll be right back. Would you like a piece of goat cheese?
Goat cheese? How so?
I have a piece for you.
I'd love... Where is it?
It's right here.
Is it really goat cheese?
Yeah, it's really good. Did you want to split it? It was in my lunch, and I know how you like goat cheese, and
I'll have a little bit.
I brought that for you. It's good, isn't it?
It's feta cheese.
It's what?
Feta, F-E-T-A, Greek cheese, goat cheese.
Did they have that in Yugoslavia when you were making your film?
Wood. We ate wood.
I see.
There was nothing to do at night. There was no fun. Tito had the car.
I'm
not going to help.
What's next, Mel? Come on.
No, I don't want to interfere.
You're not interfering. This is fun this way.
This is Susan's spot. This is Susan's spot.
No, this is Susan Blakely.
Oh, sorry. Back. Now, I'm going to, but may I ask you some more questions? Huh?
Tom.
2 hard-boiled eggs. Now, may I ask you some
Certainly.
questions? Yeah. What do you think of me?
Chapeau.
Okay. It's
All
not
right.
the best one, but...
Will it do?
Sure.
Can you make do with that? I don't know why the 2,000-year-old man
Can't.
wears a cape.
It's the worst cake. They
How
got
many-
me the worst.
Wonderful.
All right, I'm getting in character. I'm feeling it. I'm Jewish. All right.
Heard that you're married to the most beautiful woman in the world. Is that true, Mr. Brooks?
No, I'm married to Anne Bancroft.
Ah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful wife, my gorgeous wife, Anne Bancroft. I had no idea. I had no idea my wife was coming on, but it's always a pleasure to see my wife. Always. Because she earns a good salary. And I tell you that when you marry somebody, whether it's a boy or a girl, whatever you marry, you must make sure that they contribute to the financial pot of the house. They must contribute something. Just a smile is not enough. It's not enough. You have to chip in a few dollars, a few pennies. Chip in. She brings all her money home. Yes.
No cafeteria.
Yes, and I invest all her money into this pocket. Make sure it's...
Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here, you know, and I was asked to host the ESPYs this year. Yeah, hi, that's my name, Espen. When I was asked to host the ESPYs this year, folks, I said yes immediately for one reason and one reason only. This show has interns. I'll be having a little improper relations backstage a little later. But man, it's great to be here at the 6th annual ESPY Awards. Hard to believe, huh, that the ESPYs are 6 years old. Although Anthony Mason swears they're 18. So... yeah, he'll be having sex with the ESPYs in about 12 years. So... I was a little late here tonight. I took the cab to the theater, folks. And I don't know if you've ever been in these New York City cabs, but I got one of those cabbies, couldn't speak English, you know. Saw his name there on the dash. I couldn't even pronounce it. I think it was something like Hideki Arabu. I'm like that. Arabu's been having some trouble, man. They fired his translator. Steinbrenner fired his translator. And people see that as cruel, you know, but I don't know, you know. I mean, if you're not doing well in Yankee Stadium, you know, do you really need a translator? Do you want that, you know? You know? Hey, what'd they say? They say you suck. You should go back to Japan, you dirty foreigner. Okay, I got it. I'm trying to pitch over here. It's great to be here on ESPN. I love sports, man. Man, you can see sports on ESPN you don't see on other networks. You know, like kickboxing. That's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking. It just seems kind of immature. Just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there, man. I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah. Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack. Hey, have you heard about this? Ted Turner and NBC plan to start their own rival football league to compete with the NFL. And not much known about the specifics of this new league, except for this, it will suck. They know that. So they might have trouble, you know, getting advertisers when we know it will suck. And of course, congratulations to the Denver Broncos for winning the Super Bowl. How about that? Denver did great, you know. There he is. I love the Denver fans, you know, because for one thing, they don't wear food on their heads. That's nice. And they had a wild celebration in Denver after that Super Bowl, man. And now city officials expect an even wilder celebration if the Nuggets win 10 games this year. They say they're gonna say the whole city's gonna go nuts. Yeah, the Nuggets are having a bad year this year, man. Matter of fact, they're making a film about the team. They got a pretty catchy title. It's Black Men Can't Jump Either. Well, NBA All-Star Weekend over. That was exciting, man. The East beat the West. Jeff Hornacek won the three-point shootout. Houston's Clyde Drexler and Cynthia Cooper won that exciting two-ball thing. And Charles Barkley won the throw a guy through a plate glass window contest. So that was quite a game, you know. I mean, you know who impressed me the most yesterday was Kobe Bryant. Unbelievable. This guy's amazing. 19 years old, the youngest starter ever in the All-Star game, and he played so well that today he was named spokesman for NBC's new public service campaign called Screw It, Who Needs College? Of course, the biggest story in basketball, no question about it, Michael Jordan may retire. Yeah, Michael Jordan may retire after this season, and it's terrible news for Bull fans, you know, but it is terrific news for golf hustlers. They're happy about it. But Jordan is very serious, though, about leaving. In fact, he's already called the Hall of Fame to make sure that his plaque bears his basketball nickname, Air Jordan, and not his baseball nickname, Senior Crappy. That would just be disrespectful, you know? Well, how about them Winter Olympics? They're finally underway, so we've got a lot of great stuff to look forward to the next 2 weeks, like hockey and, well, just hockey, really. I was watching last night, I saw speed skating, and my goodness, you know, could the outfits they wear be any tighter? Holy Lord. There was an East German woman, I swear, you could see the outline of her entire penis. It was... Oh, my goodness. Well, there's all kinds of sports celebrities in the audience tonight. I see Tiger Woods right there. Tiger Woods, how about that, huh? Yeah, he's up for golf. Of course, he's up for Golfer of the Year this ESPYs. And you know who I feel sorry for, folks, is the other two guys nominated for Golfer of the Year. You see these guys getting ready, you know? It's like, hey, honey, have you seen my tuxedo? No, not the good one. The one I wear when I'm going to get my ass kicked. Have you seen that one? Boomer Esiason is with us. Boomer. How you doing, buddy? Boomer, of course, will replace Frank Gifford on Monday Night Football next season. And Frank told reporters that this will allow him to spend more time with his wife and children. Then he broke down and cried for 45 minutes. So. And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? Huh? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. Just a word of advice.
Norm Macdonald, I think, still with us, the actor, comedian.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
You do a great job of always making me uncomfortable. When you hosted the ESPYs that one time.
Oh, you were there. I remember that.
Oh my God. You had jokes, but they weren't directed at me. I was uncomfortable, and they weren't even directed at me.
Yeah, I have this thing where I don't even know when I do bad, but that happens to me a lot. I come off, I go, hey, that went pretty well, right? They're like, well, everyone left. I'm like, oh.
Well, we were thinking about you the other day because the ESPYs was on, and one of our favorite things to watch, and every once in a while, like Deadpan or somebody, every time the ESPYs rolls around, they'll put up
they show the whole
which was absolutely brilliant, but apparently not making many friends over at ESPN when you did that.
They won't have me back as an ESPY host.
What did they say to you after it was done?
No, they didn't say anything. They didn't say anything.
That's not good. Did anyone handle it poorly, like any of the athletes? Did they? Because you would figure that you go, all right, I'm getting my balls busted a little bit, but this is what this event is all about, and he's a comedian.
Because is there anyone who takes themselves more seriously than athletes?
No, I didn't even stupidly. I didn't even know it was going that bad, and then
it went great.
It was great. It was hysterical.
Yeah, the audience liked it. The New Yorkers,
people liked it.
Yeah.
The only people that didn't like it are those idiots that started the stupid ESPY awards in the first place for athletes that are already winning awards for their sports. Oh, I don't know, and games.
It was weird the other night to see the Dallas win game of the team of the year.
Yeah,
and come up in their suits.
Yeah, like hooray! Now we've really done it. Yeah. Now we have this meaningless thing to go along with our world championship trophy and all the money that we've accrued. Yeah, that's exactly. Now since the parade's over and the trophies have been given out and the bonuses have been given out, now I get to stand here like an idiot with some stupid award made for television. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really is up to the comedian and the host to save it. You know?
Yeah. The ESPYs looks like it doesn't have as much. I watched it. They did a big, long thing before Seth even went out, They didn't have that much comedy in it. They had a couple of sketches, but there's a lot of amazing things, but it'd be soccer and stuff. Where you can't even tell if it's a good goal. But it was cool. And then they had some guy that I never even heard of that was in jail for 50 years.
Oh, you know what? It's the Arthur Ashe Award. They deserve it. Listen, it's great that they do it, and it's awesome because, from what I saw of it, before I started fast forwarding, it was very good. But that thing must have been like 15 minutes long.
Oh, it was forever.
It was really, really long. And at some point, people are just going to, like me, go, okay, I understand this guy's story. When are we going to give another award? And you just fast forward right
was
through.
That guy a famous athlete?
I don't know.
I was watching it in fast forward. Apparently, the 15 minutes didn't describe very well what his situation was.
At the end, he got out of jail. He was 50, and he took boxing in jail. But I don't think he did anything.
Oh, he's just like, hey, I warded off rape.
Yeah.
With these fists.
Well, and then the sports thing hasn't worked out because the ESPYs too. You were the greatest host in the ESPYs history. You were the only good thing about the ESPYs ever, and they didn't invite you back after that one either. It's something about you and sports are not melding well.
Well, sports, they don't take them. They take themselves a little seriously. Like they don't they don't need anybody making jokes about them and stuff. They also don't need to be on shows. Like that's why it never works with like interview shows and stuff. When it's just sports guys, because first of all, if they go on a talk show, they're not even trying. You know what I mean? They're just, hey, what's going on? They're just giggling at the host, kind of, because it doesn't help their career to go on a talk show.
Yeah.
No,
it happens all the time.
Yeah. So they just and they've had everything like handed to them their whole life, so they're not interesting people very much.
Were people mad at the ESPYs? I find that 8-minute stretch you did as one of the greatest things ever. I mean, the look on people.
They were mad, yeah. But
they
I didn't
were
realize
so uncomfortable.
I didn't realize it at the time because like the ESPYs, like it's in Radio City Music Hall, so 95% of the audience is just New Yorkers, and then right in the front. It's 4 rows or something, or all the athletes.
Yeah, like
right?
Dean Smith is giving you like that tisk, how dare you? Who the hell is this guy?
I know, but me, like an idiot, I never saw that because I didn't have monitors or anything. So I was doing well in the room because it was like the New York audience. You can't really see out. But then when I later saw it on TV, it would just cut to scowling black athletes.
The O.J. Simpson joke at the end.
Ken Griffey Jr. didn't care for it. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah.
Did people come up to you afterwards, like the O.J. stuff, and when you were making fun of Tiger Woods? I mean, did people come up afterwards and like confront you, or just say anything, or did you?
Well, Ken Griffey was really mad for some reason. I don't really know why. And he was like, yeah, that was really funny, man, really funny, like real sarcastic. And then I said, hey, man, listen, I just want to tell you one thing. I go, there's never going to be a guy, never going to be a player like your dad. That guy was the best. There'll never be anybody close to that
guy. What did he say?
He just looked at him. He didn't know what to do because what are you going to do? Go, my dad, I'm way better than him. But you knew that was what was in his head.
What did you say about him in the show?
I didn't say anything. I said it was an OJ joke or something. And it just cut to him like with a crazy look on his face, like what? Huh? What?
Yeah, they didn't like the OJ jokes. Neither did Saturday Night Live. You got in trouble on Saturday Night Live for doing the OJ stuff
it's
too.
Kind of bizarre because I always thought like it's kind of I don't know. It's hard to believe anybody would believe that he wasn't guilty, but I will say this though, like because every black guy I knew like would go like I go, you think he's really innocent? And they go, yeah, kind of, but you could tell like they maybe not, but they were just backing him up. So, but then I was like, that's weird. But then I understood it later because when Robert Blake killed his wife, or allegedly did, I loved Beretta.
You're like, oh,
yeah, so I was like, I don't care. I just want him to. I don't really care. I don't know who this lady is. Like, but it'd be cool to have. I don't want Beretta to go to jail. I don't know. So
that's the white man's equivalent of O.J. Simpson is Beretta.
Exactly. Beretta with the cockatoo and stuff. You can take that to the bank, right? Wasn't that the greatest movie? Remember when you were a kid watching Beretta and like all the other cop shows,
like the Equalizer and things like that.
Yeah, then you see Beretta be like, just Martin Scorsese's TV show. It's all gritty and.
It's a great name for a TV show too.
What?
Beretta.
I guess.
Norm Macdonald with us, based on a true story. It's available September 20th. We're going to do Celebrity Prognosticator with him in just a second. But he's an unusual person, and he likes awkward comedy. Most people are not comfortable with awkward comedy.
He likes to make you uncomfortable.
Oh, and
great.
And there's never been anything in the history of the ESPYs better than his monologue. So I want to go back there for a second with Norm. Thank you for making time for us. What do you remember most about all of that ESPYs thing that you did that made everyone uncomfortable and was hugely great, and instead of celebrated, got everyone mad?
Oh, hi guys.
Hello.
Hi, Norm.
No, this is what happened. I'm sure you guys have been to the ESPYs.
Yes.
No.
And it's a lot of fun. They'll go like, and now for best football team, I know the guy that won the Super Bowl, so they get an award, and so I was doing my stand-up, but the audience is like 90% just New Yorkers, and then right at the first few rows are all the athletes, and so the New Yorker guys liked me, but stupidly I didn't realize that they were showing pictures like behind me of Ken Griffey scowling and stuff, because they all hated my jokes.
John Elway was mad. Did you actually say why the long face to John Elway?
I was against that joke. That was Will Ferrell. He said, "Get some teeth" or something like that. I don't know what he said. Well, why the long face? I did say, but that's okay. But no, Will took on his teeth, and I was like, "Oh, don't do that."
Who was most upset with you after that night?
Ken Griffey Jr.
Really?
Did he say
Yeah,
something?
they told me, like after the show, they were, there's this big party, and they were always like, all through the show, this party's going to be great. And then at the end, I go, "Where's that party?" And they're like, "Nah, I probably should just go back to the hotel."
That's how you learned that you were not invited to Ken Griffey Jr.'s party?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you remember most about that night? Is there one joke that you're particularly proud of, and you tend to be someone who doesn't, you don't do a lot of reveling in the past. You move on. But is there anything in particular that you are proud of there?
Well, Woodson won the Heisman that year.
That's a good joke.
And so I said, they could never take that away from you unless you kill your wife and a waiter.
It's so good, man. It's such a good joke. It really is.
I love Bob Hope. I thought he was the greatest comedian ever.
I think Bill Cosby's the biggest comedian of all time.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone will ever match his production and quality of material.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Bill Cosby?
I love Bill Cosby.
Yeah. Did you listen to those records when you were a kid?
Sure. I mean, listen, I grew up, he was my hero, I loved him. I wanted to be just like him.
Great stand.
I didn't like his comedy, but I wanted to be just like him. No.
What do you mean? You're sick.
I'm only kidding.
Okay.
We went and saw him. I had maybe the greatest Bill Cosby story ever.
Really?
And now it's not in the top 10,000. Because I'll tell people the story.
Right.
And then I'll constantly be interrupted by, and then did he rape you? I'm like, he didn't ever rape me. It had nothing to do with the story.
There was a story you had told about your father and Bill Cosby on David Letterman. Do you think you could share that with us here right now?
I remember that. Yeah, that was when I opened for Bill Cosby.
Right.
You want me to tell you the story?
Yeah, tell the story. It was terrific.
No, I opened for Bill Cosby at this college. So there's 100,000 people at the college. It's the University of Oklahoma. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, for sure. Like 100,000 people to see your show, Norm, or just?
No, to see Bill Cosby.
Oh, to see Bill Cosby.
I was opening for him.
Oh, okay.
So, it's a football stadium, So they have this little tiny, stage, and so I went up there, and I had my suit on and everything. And then I talked, and no one laughed. They were all just talking to each other. I don't think they even noticed me on stage, And they didn't mind that I was on stage, but they they didn't boo or anything. I don't even think they saw me. So I finished my thing, and then I got off, and Bill Cosby came up, and he was wearing, and he talks just in little. He talks he doesn't use full sentences. So he said, "Why?" I was wearing a suit. He goes, "Why this suit? Suit," or something like that. So I said, "No, I was trying to show the respect." Bill Cosby goes, "College, wear the sweatshirt and the pants." So he just had a sweat suit on. So, anyways, he says, this shows you how good Cosby is. He's he was asking the girl, from the student union or wherever. He goes, "What's going on here?" So she goes, "Well, next week we're playing Tulsa, and it's a big game." So then he goes on stage and he goes, "We're playing Oklahoma State." He goes, "Oklahoma State!" So everyone cheers, right? Then he goes, "Tulsa!" And then everyone boos. And then he says it slower. He goes, "Oklahoma State!" And then everyone goes crazy. He goes, "Tulsa!" And he does this like 6 times, and the audience is going insane by the end of it, like cheering and booing. And at the end he goes, next week I'll be playing Tulsa, and I'll be doing that bit in reverse. Then he laughs, everyone laughs. So then they loved him. You know, they didn't even notice I was on stage. And so anyway, then the show ends. And then I'm talking to him, and I was telling him, because when I grew up, my dad and I would listen to Bill Cosby albums. He would love Bill Cosby, my dad. So I said, my dad loves you. He goes, where's your dad live? And I said, Ottawa. He goes, Ottawa. And then he turns to his manager guy that was with him, and he goes, Maury, aren't we playing in Ottawa? When? I thought the schedule. So then the guy goes, yeah. He goes, we're doing it in August. He goes, yes, take the man's name down, and we will. And so then he says, I will meet with your father, take him back, and we will speak. And I will put him in the front, because he will like to be, and then after. And so just put the number down on the paper. So then, like, I go to write the number down, and it occurs to me that my father's dead. So, but I don't want to say that to Bill Cosby, you know. So I just write down any fucking number. Like, I just write the area code and then 7 digits. So that's the story. So then later, like a couple of months go by, and this also shows you like the power of like a guy like Bill Cosby. I was doing some lame thing on the Drew Carey show, you know, I was supposed to be a lawyer or something for one episode of the Drew Carey show. So I'm on the Drew Carey show. I'm rehearsing, and a lady runs up and she goes, Bill Cosby's on the phone, you know. So I go, what? So I go and I answer the phone, and it's there, I swear. It's Bill Cosby. So I go, hello? He goes, your father does not answer at the phone. I phoned the number, and the phone rang, and then another voice came that was a machine. And it was a person saying that the number was not used by a person and all this, you know. So I'm like, instead of just telling him, I just said, no, that's the number. That was all. I didn't know. It was impossible for me to say. But so anyway, that's the story. And then I told that story on Letterman once, and I guess Cosby saw it. And then the next day, this was when I was working at Saturday Night Live. The next day, I went to my office, and there was like 300 like things of flowers. There was flowers like everywhere in my office. And then and then about 5 days later, like I found there was a little tiny card on one of the flowers, and it said, I hate to be the one to break. I'm doing his voice, but it said, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but your father is long since dead. So that's the story. God damn, that was a long story.
But it was good. It was good. Have you had any contact with Dr. Cosby since then, Norm?
The doctor, yeah, Dr. William H. Cosby, ED.
Yeah, that's him.
No, I've never talked to Bill Cosby since then. But I love that guy.
How much are you bothered by the fact that this comedian who you really thought was great turns out to be this person doing horrible things? Do you separate his work from the person? Does it taint it at all?
Not at all.
Not
because listen,
not at all.
Listen. Suppose
nothing else for me to do.
I don't know nothing about these old fellers, but you hear, hey, Beethoven.
Yeah.
raped his own daughter.
He did?
Well, let's say he did.
Okay.
Would you give a good goddamn? Would you give a rat's ass?
Yeah, I would. That's pretty bad. Pick up different crime. Different crime.
Now, do you think Cosby's legacy will be hurt?
Yeah.
You do, huh? I mean, there was a comedian, Patton Oswalt, he told me, I think the worst part of the Cosby thing was the hypocrisy. And I disagreed.
You disagree with that?
Yeah. I thought it was the raping. And it's my feeling most rapists are hypocrites. You don't meet many go, I like raping, and I know it's not politically correct, but by God, people go, well, he's not being a hypocrite, and that's the worst part.
And there was a story you had told about your father and Bill Cosby on David Letterman. Do you think you could share that with us here right now?
I remember that. Yeah, that was when. No, I opened for Bill Cosby.
Right.
You want me to tell you the story?
Yeah, tell the story. It was terrific.
No, I opened for Bill Cosby at this college. So there's 100,000 people at the college. You know, it's the University of Oklahoma. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, for sure. Like 100,000 people to see your show, Norm, or just?
No, to see Bill Cosby.
Oh, to see Bill Cosby.
I was opening for him.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, it's a football stadium, you know? So they have this little tiny, like, stage, you know, and so I went up there, and I had my suit on and everything, and then I talked, and I'm like, no one laughed. Like, they were all just talking to each other. I don't think they even noticed me on stage, you know? And they didn't mind that I was on stage, but they... They didn't boo or anything. I don't even think they saw me. So I finished my thing, and then I got off, and Bill Cosby came up, and he was wearing, and he talks like just in little. He talks like he doesn't use full sentences. So he said, "Why?" I was wearing a suit. He goes, "Why this suit? You know, suit," or something like that. So I said, "No, I was trying to show the respect." You know, Bill Cosby goes, "College, wear the sweatshirt and the pants," you know. So he just had a sweat suit on, you know. So, anyways, he says, this shows you how good Cosby is. He's like, he was asking the girl, like from the student union or wherever. He goes, "What's going on here?" You know. So she goes, "Well, next week we're playing Tulsa, and it's a big game, you know." So then he goes on stage and he goes. We're playing Oklahoma State. He goes, "Oklahoma State!" So everyone cheers, right? Then he goes, "Tulsa!" Then everyone boos. And then he says it slower. He goes, "Oklahoma State!" Then everyone like goes crazy. He goes, "Tulsa!" He does this like 6 times, and the audience is going insane by the end of it, like cheering and booing. And then at the end he goes, "Next week I'll be playing Tulsa. And I'll be doing that bit in reverse." Then he laughs. Someone laughs. So then they loved him. You know, they didn't even notice I was on stage. And so anyway, then the show ends. And then I'm talking to him, and I was telling him because when I grew up, my dad and I would listen to Bill Cosby albums. He would love Bill Cosby, my dad. So I said, "My dad loves you." He goes, "Where's your dad live?" And I said, "Ottawa." He goes, "Ottawa." And then he turns to his manager guy that was with him, and he goes, "Maury, aren't we playing in Ottawa? When? I thought the schedule." So then the guy goes, "Yeah." He goes, "We're doing it in August." He goes, "Yes, take the man's name down, and we will." And so then he says, "I will meet with your father, take him back, and we will speak. And I will put him in the front because people like to be, and then after. And so just put the number down on the paper." So then, like, I go to write the number down, and it occurs to me that my father's dead. So, but I don't want to say that to Bill Cosby, you know. So I just write down any fucking number. Like I just write the area code and then 7 digits. So that's the story. So then later, like a couple of months go by, and this also shows you like the power of like a guy like Bill Cosby. I was doing some lame thing on the Drew Carey show. You know, like I was supposed to be a lawyer or something for one episode of the Drew Carey show. So I'm on the Drew Carey show. I'm rehearsing, and the lady runs up and she goes, "Bill Cosby's on the phone." You know. So I go, "What?" So I go and I answer the phone, and it's there, I swear. It's Bill Cosby. So I go, "Hello?" He goes, "Your father does not answer at the phone." I phoned the number, and the phone rang, and it then another voice came that was a machine, and it was a person saying that the number was not used by a person and all this, you know. So I'm like, instead of just telling him, I just said, "No, that's the number." That was all. I didn't know. It was impossible for me to say. But so anyway, that's the story. And then I told that story on Letterman once, and I guess Cosby saw it. And then the next day, this was when I was working at Saturday Night Live. The next day, I went to my office, and there was like 300 like things of flowers. There was flowers like everywhere in my office. And then and then about 5 days later, like I found there was a little tiny card on one of the flowers, and it said, I hate to be the one to break. I'm doing his voice, but it said, "I hate to be the one to break it to you, but your father is long since dead." So that's the story. God damn, that was a long story.
But it was good. It was good. Have you had any contact with Dr. Cosby since then, Norm?
The doctor, yeah, Dr. William H. Cosby, E.D.
Yeah, that's him.
No, I've never talked to Bill Cosby since then. But I love that guy.
That's so amazing. And it was a great impression too. If I don't mind saying that, really, are we going to see lots of impressions from you when you're here in Calgary? And
oh yeah, no.
Little one, you've been away so long, and I need you now more than forever. More than forever.
You know, I had maybe the greatest Bill Cosby story ever.
Really?
And now it's not in the top 10,000. Because I'll tell people the story.
Right.
And then I'll constantly be interrupted by, and then did he rape you? I'm like, he didn't ever rape me. It had nothing to do with the story. Joining us now, Robert Duvall, whose new movie, 7 Days in Utopia, is now in theaters. Mr. Duvall, welcome.
Oh, yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, baby. I was telling Kevin earlier, this is how I go to movies. People go, "You want to go to a movie?" I go, "Is Robert Duvall in it?" They go, "Yes," I go.
Well, all right, Dave. That's okay. If that's what you really mean, that's fine.
I really mean it. And I consider you the greatest actor in the world.
Well, thank you very much.
And I wonder, because I always think if somebody is the best, they know it at some level. And also, I know that you're a man of faith and false modesty is a sin. And I was wondering, do you consider yourself the greatest actor in the world?
I think I can hold my own with a lot of people. So I don't know if there's one person that's the greatest. Some people say Daniel Day-Lewis is the best. He's improved. I didn't used to like him. I like him a lot now. But there's a group that are very good. So I don't know if anybody's the best.
Well, here's how I am with acting. I have a lot of problems with acting because I have trouble suspending my disbelief. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times when I'm watching an actor, I can see him acting. Like I'm going, "Oh, that guy's acting."
Right.
I don't see that with you. Never.
Well, you try to keep it invisible. You try to take it back to just the basic premise of I talk, you listen, I talk. To keep it that simple between the words action and cut. If you're doing film, so you try to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, an actor
well, let's say a guy is always himself. You know what I mean? Like a guy like John Wayne or something like that.
He could be very good.
Him, I believe, because there's no disconnect between what I see when he's interviewed and what I see. But you, on the other hand, are different in every role.
Well, you still got to bring yourself underneath. There's only one you, right?
Right, that's true. Yeah.
So you can't really become something that you're not. You create the illusion of something else, but it's you underneath. You got one set of emotions, one psyche, one everything. So you have to know how to use yourself to bend it or whatever to make it seem like it's something else.
Now, I've noticed in your body of work, obviously talking to you, you're an incredibly literate person and a very thinking person. And I met you one time. I'll tell you this. I met you one time at Saturday Night Live. Garth Brooks was the host, and you came in.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I was very excited because you were going to do I don't know if you remember this, you were going to do a song.
Yeah.
And you didn't do it, and I was very sad about that. But I was so, I wanted to meet you so bad, and then I met you and I talked to you, and I had all these questions for you. And then you started talking to me and asking me questions. And you were looking at me very deeply and asking me, because I come from a rural farm area in Canada, and you were asking me about ranchers and stuff like that. And I don't know if you did that to deflect my questions or if you do that to study people and steal their soul.
I don't know. What part? Where are you from? From what part of Canada?
So you're doing it right now. I'm from rural Alberta.
I love Alberta. That's the only part of Canada I really like.
Oh, really?
I love Alberta. The ranch people up there, the Buse family. Yeah. It's good people up there. Great people. Yeah.
And that brings me to you. You often portray the common man. Is that something that you're not Southern, but you've played a lot of Southern characters?
Well, my dad's from Virginia, and that's the beginning of the South, so I feel comfortable, I like the Southeast Conference Football League, and I feel okay in the South, even though, I'm in Texas, too. Some of my mother's people are from Texas, which is below the Mason-Dixon line, so to speak,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to portray the common man, except, when I played, one of my favorite parts was when I played Joseph Stalin. He wasn't he was common, but not so common,
So you don't mind playing a guy that you have to figure out the good part of him or something?
No, each part's a challenge, so, you go with what you have to do, research or whatever, and just jump in and do it,
Now, Kevin Farley has a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever been like, you've done some big movies with big actors. Was it ever hard? Like, did you get nervous, and how do you deal with your nerves? When you have to really bring your game, your A game, and that could, like, say, The Godfather with the scenes with Brando or anything like that. Were you ever really nervous where you had trouble like controlling your nerves? Where you're like, oh gosh.
Yeah. Well, the last job I did, it was the most nervous I've ever got in my career. I worked with Billy Bob Thornton. I call him the hillbilly Orson Welles. The guy's brilliant, and we did an interesting movie. And the night before, I had to do a scene, and it worked, but I was so frightened. I had to do a guy that his grandson slips LSD in his iced tea.
Wow.
And I had to, like, unbeknownst, so I did. I think that intense fear helped propel me into the scene and make it work in a strange way.
Yeah.
Because it was a very demanding scene, but it worked. It worked, and Billy doesn't care if you change things. Some of these directors you can't change to air.
Yeah.
But a guy like Billy, he leaves it open, even though the writing is brilliant. What he's done, he lets you come up with stuff at the moment, which is very admirable. I think.
Yeah. It is interesting that you bring up Billy Bob Thornton, because I agree with you. When I saw Sling Blade, I was like, this guy is exactly what you said. I said, this guy's Orson Welles. How did he do this?
He's up there with Coppola or Altman or any of them. For me. Yeah.
But then he stopped.
Well, he stopped, and he has a country band. He goes around. So I sent a message to him, do you sing as good as Lefty Frizzell, knowing the answer, I guess he sings okay. I don't know. But, he's got to get back to his A game, because the guy, he wrote, direct and acted, and he's on a high level in all those aspects.
Well, can I ask you a question? Because you were in the Sling Blade, you played his dad.
Yeah.
This may be I don't know if you want to answer this question or not, but you're an honest guy, right?
Sometimes. Yeah.
You go on Sling Blade.
Yeah.
You're watching that. Does that character he did in Sling Blade remind you of a character you may have done 30 years ago?
Well, yeah, that's what Horton Foote thought, maybe. You're talking about Tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's what Horton Foote thought maybe he was doing me, but I don't think so. I don't know if he ever even saw that. But not really, maybe a little bit. They could have been cousins, so to speak, yeah. But when I did it with Billy Bob, there was no script. He just rolled the camera and we improvised.
Is that right?
Was it.
Wow.
So he's great to work with, and he's got some more things he's going to do. And he's great.
You have an incredible taste in the choices you make, right? You must put thought into this.
Do what now?
Are you a literary person?
Well, somewhat. I read. What I want to read. I'm reading a lot of stuff on the Comanche Indians now because a friend of mine may direct Empire of the Summer Moon, that terrific script on.
Oh yeah.
I guess I may be wrong, but Horton Foote once said people don't know what goes on beyond the South Jersey Shore from New York necessarily, right. And I think that I don't know what I saw of The Searchers. It may be a great movie by John Ford, but what I saw, I got to watch the whole thing. I found some of it corny. Yeah. Melodramatic.
You found some of The Searchers corny?
Yes, absolutely.
Which parts?
Absolutely. Please come home. Please come back. And this book deals with the real thing of that woman that was captured by by the Comanches.
Sure.
And, if you criticize, a friend of mine once said, if you criticize John Ford, I got this great icon from Hollywood, it's like attacking motherhood.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's some of those old guys, like when I did True Grit, that was one of the worst directors I ever worked with in my life, Henry Hathaway.
Yeah,
one of the worst. Some of those old guys were like tyrants,
Yeah.
The opposite of Billy Bob.
Right.
Yeah. And I remember you saying one time that I found interesting that you either like the new kind of acting or the old kind of acting, and you don't like the old kind of acting.
Well, a guy like Spencer Tracy, for the most part, was terrific. Of course, when he did Old Man in the Sea, the Communist daily newspaper in Havana, Cuba, blasted him, saying that here's a Anglo-Saxon trying to play a Cuban, but actually, when he was right, like Bad Dad, Black Rock, he was wonderful. But I think that the young actors today are better than ever.
You do.
Yeah. Absolutely. You go in each country. Look at the African Americans, the black actors we have now that never could act before. Before it was like Uncle Tom time.
Right.
Wonderful black actors, Spanish actors, guys in Argentina I know, wonderful actors, Spain, England.
Mm-hmm.
It's open to all now. It's an in medium that's open to all. So I think there's good and bad still, but I think overall the young actors, the bar's been raised. Maybe those who went before, we helped them find that aspect of it all. But no, I really think that it's open for all, and there's still bad work, obviously, and bad movies, but some of the young actors are wonderful.
Well, tell us about this young actor that you're working with in 7 Days.
He's as good as they get. He's terrific. Lucas Black. He's a scratch golfer. Wow. It's the only movie ever where the lead actor can hit the ball, really.
Yeah,
and he's
that's true.
Guy. In between takes, he said, I will challenge the world champion turkey caller and beat him. He does these phenomenal animal calls because he grew up with nature, fishing in the backwoods of Alabama,
Wow.
But he's a terrific kid, and when we did the movie, it was wonderful to go work in Texas with just great people down in that hill country, and Lou Waters and his family, and Ken Herford and the golf pro Stan. All these wonderful people welcomed us, and it was great working with. That's the reason. One of the reasons I took it to work with Lucas.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to love it because I love. I don't think you love golf, but I love golf.
Well, I like it okay. It just takes too much time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
And
But
my good
in this
friend Jimmy my good friend Jimmy Kahn's always out playing, but I'm afraid to ask him his handicap because I know he'll like exaggerate.
Yeah, a lot of golfers lie. I read a thing once in Golf Digest. They went out because it's very, a lot of integrity of real golfers, And it was.
Yeah, well, I've heard of guys picking up the ball when you're not looking and throwing it another 100 feet. Or, on the scorecard, I guess it's easier to cheat consciously and unconsciously,
Sure. My second favorite golfer behind Tiger is in your movie, KJ Choi.
Oh, he's terrific. Yeah.
Was he a cool guy?
Yeah, I didn't get to know him, but they say he is. Yeah, he played a villain, but he's supposed to be really a terrific, really a nice guy, So yeah, it was interesting working with those guys. I love working in Texas.
Yeah. We should talk about Lonesome Dove because that's
my favorite part.
That's your favorite part ever?
Yeah, ever.
Real, not Tender Mercies?
No, ever. No. I said let the English play Hamlet and King Lear. I'll play Augustus McCrae.
What's interesting? I just thought of this, but you, in many, like we were talking about Tomorrow, Boo Radley, obviously, you played.
Horton Foote, the great writer, my friend. It was wonderful, man.
And so many of these parts that you played were very, is the word taciturn? People that don't speak is that a word?
Yes.
I don't know if that's a word. But you don't speak a lot, and in Tomorrow, you virtually don't speak at all.
Well, when I did, I saw a guy in southern Missouri wants to talk like a cow. So that's the way I kind of did it. We did it as a stage play first for 25 performances at Herbert Berghoff's studio in New York City, and then we did the movie afterwards.
Yeah,
it was like a complete experience.
But it just occurred to me since you played these characters before Lonesome Dove that were very non-verbose, that maybe Call would be the guy that you would play.
Well, that's what McMurtry still says that I should have played Call. He wrote it. He's absolutely out to lunch on that.
You mean after the movie?
My ex-wife said to me, I read a novel I like better than Dostoevsky. Don't let them talk you into playing Call. You got to play this other guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I really.
So even after the miniseries, McMurtry thought you were miscast.
Yeah, well, that shows you where his head is.
Well, can we come back? Can you stay for another thing? Because I wanted to talk about faith with you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We'll talk about a little faith. Come on, let's do that.
That'd be cool, baby. All right, we'll be back with the greatest actor in the world by my standard and by his own, self-admitted. I wanted to talk about country music because I love country music and I know Robert Duvall.
Oh, yeah, I like it. I love it, yeah.
Yeah, and we actually have a common friend, Billy Joe Shaver, who I love.
Oh, Billy Joe, my wife made a wonderful documentary on him.
I saw it. It was awesome.
Oh, he was so natural in front of the camera. When I put him in the Apostle way back the second day, he came out and said, hell, I got this deal licked, he said.
Now, listen, if there's a guy whose life story should be made into a movie, isn't it that guy?
I think so. Chris Christopherson once said, if life was a television show, Billy Joe Shaver's come on every morning at 4 a.m.
I want to ask you this, Mr. Duvall, because I want to, since we were talking about country music and Billy Joe Shaver and stuff, when I talk to Billy Joe Shaver, this is what I love about country music, and I talk to him about writing a lot. Right. And he says that the hardest thing about it is taking very big ideas and putting them in very small writing, very pithy writing,
right.
Not to be over. And it strikes me that your acting is like that, like a lot of the things that you do, like in Tender Mercies, which I loved, you don't speak a lot.
Right. Yeah. So now what's the question?
The question is that why you love country music?
No, I just like country music, as I've always listened to. My brothers sang opera and they were classically trained, and I always just loved country music. That's what, I loved it.
Now, I suppose you'd say that's corny, too. You seem to say everything's corny.
Well, no. There's a legitimate sense of melodrama. I mean, you find that in Shakespeare. Melodrama can be very valid. Things that seem melodramatic.
Right. Because I'm always defending country music because people say to me oh, country music, it's just about your dog dying, you're losing your truck, and you
right. Play it all backwards.
Yeah, but I go, that's life. That's what life is.
Yeah, but the point is, I took my wife to her first opera here in Washington D.C. where they played subtitles. They put the subtitles up there, what they were singing in Italian. It was far cornier and simplistic than any country song I ever heard.
So you're country musicians you like. Lefty Frizzell, you said?
Yeah, well, I love Merle Haggard, but there's so many I like. I like Bobby Bare. I loved Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash. They died too young, these guys.
Yeah.
Well, Waylon Jennings, he was the greatest. It's interesting you mentioned.
Tammy Wynette was wonderful. She was a wonderful lady.
Yeah, you like lady singers?
Talking about it. Yeah.
What about? It's interesting you bring up Merle Haggard because I might be way off base, but when I saw Tender Mercies, I'm like, oh, he's doing Merle.
Well, that's what somebody thought. That's what Willie Nelson asked me if I was aping Merle Haggard. I said, well, I love him. I don't know if I was aping him or not, but maybe, and then George Jones said it was his life story, which it wasn't. So I don't know. But speaking of faith-based, real quick, Billy Joe Shavers, he lost his son, his mother, and his wife, who he married 3 times. He lost them. They died all in 1 year.
It was incredible. It was like Job.
Yeah, I said, Billy Joe, how'd you get through this? He pointed to his chest and said, Jesus Christ. Now, you can't say that in New York City. Up north, you don't do that. But down there in the south, of those guys, they're pretty inundated in the philosophy and beliefs of Jesus Christ. So that's what he said to me at one point, Billy Joe.
Yeah, they're not afraid to say it. And you're right. If you say it like I live in Los Angeles, if you say such a thing, people will look at you like you're saying you have Down syndrome or something.
Yeah, well, who's the writer from Alabama? Also, he wrote a book all over but the shouting. I forget his name. He wrote for the New York, one of the New York papers. I forget the guy's name right now. He brought that up out in the South. You do that, but then once you get above the Mason-Dixon line, sometimes it's difficult to bring up Jesus or anybody like that because they look at you like you're a square or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they look at you like they reduced him to a silly character.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I'm sure that must have been your motive in writing and directing and starring in The Apostle.
Well, yeah, it took me many years to get it off the ground. I had to use my own money and everything. Had I done it in Hollywood, they would have never done it correctly. They would have paid me big time, patronized the subject, patronized certain regions in America. When I did it, I put up my own money. I got my money back plus change, and that was it. But I got great satisfaction in doing it.
Yeah.
Because I got from both ends. I heard that the great preacher, from Billy Graham liked it. And then I got a wonderful letter from Marlon Brando saying he liked it. So I got it from the secular and the religious.
That's great. That's fantastic.
You got it from both
sides. Because what was the name of the character?
Sonny. Sonny, I wanted to use my mother's maiden name, but that was the name of some preacher, so I didn't want to get a lawsuit. So, his Sonny Dewey, yeah, exactly, yeah.
But that movie really struck me because I grew up in rural Canada in a very, very small town, and the preachers would come, and we would go and listen to them.
Yeah, there's some of those preachers up there in Canada. I actually went to some, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're a little different from the guys. I'm on the devil's hit list.
Well, we never had the Southern Baptists, but we would have the famous people from the United States come, and you could tell. I could at a young age who were the real guy. Now, I don't know. I can't look into a man's heart, but some of them seemed fake. Like, for instance, I saw Jim Baker. He seemed like a complete fake.
Well, he could be. Yeah, a lot of those guys, yeah.
But I tell you, I saw Jimmy Swaggart, and I thought that's a real guy. And even when he did his apology on TV, that seemed authentic to me.
Yeah, but he does like he's minimized his crocodile tears since then. He's very talented.
You think those were crocodile tears?
Yeah. Billy, his cousin, who's his cousin?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, he said we work different sides of the street. That's what.
Really? So you think?
But the country singer, what's his name? The guy from Nova Scotia.
Hank Snow.
Hank Snow. Well, his son was a Pentecostal preacher. He was one of the first guys I saw doing my research. Jimmy Snow. Has a church down there. But what happened was Lefty Frizzell's wife went to his church, so he knew Lefty was around her, and he was a drunk and this and that. He says, God told me to tell you to leave Lefty. And Lefty called him up and said, well, God told me to tell you I'm going to come over there and whip your ass.
What were you raised?
Anyway.
What were you raised, Robert?
Oh, I was just a Protestant family.
Okay.
Mainly. Yeah. My dad was different. Yeah.
Kevin, you're Catholic.
Irish Catholic. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was raised Protestant. That's a little more. Catholic's a little more ritual.
A lot of rituals.
Protestant's a little more. I don't know if it's a little more visceral, direct. Maybe.
Yeah. Don't get my wife started. She comes out of a Catholic family in Argentina where the Jesuits ruled. But we won't get into that. We won't get into that.
Yeah. When did you get married?
Pardon?
How old were you when you married your latest wife?
Oh, I was old. When I met my father-in-law, I said, I don't know whether to call you a father or son, he said.
It's amazing.
And then I told Wilford Brimley. Wilford, he's a character, that guy. He was a Jack Mormon. He was a bodyguard for Howard Hughes. He sings jazz with a band. He's a very interesting guy, Wilford Brimley. When I came up, I said, Wilford, I got this young woman that's much younger than me. Everybody thinks she's too young, this and that. He said, let me tell you something, my friend. The worst thing in the world for an old man is an old woman.
That's great.
Now you do have people. You have a much wider interest than most actors, right? Most actors, I think, hang out with other actors or whatever, or go to parties or whatever.
That's okay. I like a good Hollywood party when I'm out there. We live in Virginia, actually.
Yeah.
My wife's from Argentina, but she says Virginia for her is the last station before heaven.
Ah, that's nice.
She loves it here. And, I love Texas, but we like living in Virginia at the moment,
Yeah.
And how do you keep up with a young lady like that?
Oh, well, I don't know. She keeps me going. She looks after me well.
Here's what I was telling Kevin during the break. I was saying, you're 80 years old, right, sir?
Yeah, I'm 80 years old, right.
Now I see you when you're interviewed. You don't look 80 at all. You're powerful and you talk, but then you can do parts like I saw. I remember in Convicts. That's where I thought you looked the oldest.
Yeah.
You looked like a real 80-year-old guy.
Well, that was another Horton Foote script, and the director of Tender Mercies, who did not direct that, liked that movie so much he gave it as Christmas presents to his friends. That was a nice film that a lot of people didn't see.
Oh, that was
a beautiful movie. I had a wonderful career of 4 or 5 movies with Horton Foote, and then I had also with Coppola. And had I never done anything but those two guys' works, it would have been a wonderful mini career for me. There were two wonderful, talented people that gave me great parts and everything. But it was great working with Horton. You know how many people you have a friend for 50 years, for God's sake.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
and then the movie of Get Low that I did, it was so. I love that movie. My wife loved it so much. I wanted Horton to see that before he died because it reminded me of his work. But then he died before it came out.
Oh.
And when I was doing the final speech for the audience, my wife was off camera and she got a telephone message that Horton had just died.
Oh.
When I was doing that speech about death.
Yeah.
Wow.
So ironic. It was like full circle from To Kill a Mockingbird.
And that's also interesting that you were doing the speech in Get Low, and in Tomorrow, you in the last scene were in a coffin.
Yeah, well, yeah. Also in the coffin well, you mean in the Convicts? I was in a coffin.
In Convicts, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So who did Convicts?
Who directed that? Pete Masters, and that was Horton's first cousin. Yeah.
Oh wow!
That
was an amazing movie, and that was a character that was, I guess he had dementia.
Yeah. I played him like one of my uncles moved to Texas from Virginia, and I sat on a grave. Whose grave am I sitting on here? and I made that up. Horton would sit under the cameras. He'd write. I say, Horton, could I try a little, change a little? I go ahead, Bobby. That's okay. Then he'd watch it. They say cut. He'd go back to writing something else. But he didn't mind if he changed a little something. You know, not so much the text, but he was great to work with. Horton. He was really an actor's friend and ally. Some of these directors you work with are an actor's enemy.
Yeah. Well, Tender Mercies was the best movie ever, but I remember a line in Tomorrow that was so cool. I just remember it now. I'm going to screw it up, but it was when they come and take the boy from you.
Yes.
And you say, do you remember the line?
Once you refresh my memory, it's been a long time.
You say, I expected it. I reckon that's why it took me by surprise.
Yeah, I think that was scripted, though. Yeah, with Horton. Wonderful line. I wouldn't see that movie for a year. I was so ticked off at the producers and everybody. They cut a scene where I ride on my mule 30 miles to see that son when he's grown up. I say his name. He doesn't recognize me. I take off my hat to see if he'll recognize me. Then he doesn't. And I get in my mule and ride and go back home 30 miles. Wow. And I had a great moment. One of those moments I got so emotional I couldn't even speak. And they cut the scene.
Oh, that is interesting because in that movie it is a little choppy at both ends.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I won't go into the reasons why that could be, but but overall it was a good experience, and it's always great. It was great working with Horton.
Do you have other scenes that have been cut that you wish were not?
Yeah, probably. I can't think of any right now. Let's hope Billy Bob doesn't cut any of mine from this.
Well, I'm glad to hear that Billy Bob is directing.
This was the most unique script I've probably ever read. The one, Jane Mansfield's Car is the name of it. Billy Bob.
Wow.
Script. Yeah. And the people, he sent the script to the same people that financially backed 7 Days in Utopia. He never heard from them because a lot of the preachers will not come see this movie. Of course, if they come, they might like it underneath. See, but, it is so secular but so accurate.
Yeah,
you can't. Like a guy called in, a faith-based station called in when we were doing publicity, and he brought up the fact that in the Old Testament there's a lot of R rating.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so it's the secular and as long as it's done accurately and beautifully, it can be a little shocking to some people. But as long as it's done well, as Billy Bob has done, I think in this movie, then it becomes a valid statement of filmmaking.
Right.
When you do a movie, since Gus McCrae was such an incredibly fully realized character and so great. Then when you do Broken Trail or Open Range or anything like that, do you have to try not to go into that, or is it you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean go into it?
Well, is it a tough thing to try to match that because they're similar characters?
Well, similar to a point. Yeah, they are. I actually feel that if you looked at Broken Trail in its entirety, I think it was better made than Lonesome Dove.
Really?
I mean, Lonesome Dove's my best, but it's right up there, and and somebody said, this and that. It's not a faith-based movie, but it's a wonderful movie in that these guys saved 5 Chinese girls from servitude and prostitution. The original script, and it was really nice to make. But like with Lonesome Dove, you get 7 hours to develop a character, and a lot of actors won't do TV because you do TV in your career and you try to get out of it to get into features. But then once you get a certain leverage, you'll go back to do something like Lonesome Dove or Stalin. In television, and television can be great.
Yeah.
Still action and cut. I mean, you're playing characters, so but you do have sometimes more time to develop a character.
And westerns are my favorite movies. They always go like westerns are dead, and then a western.
No, they're not dead. People say that, but people always look for them, and they're always doing them. There's a flux of a bunch coming back for TV now and everything.
There was a great western a couple years ago with a big long title. Remember that movie, Kevin? The Coward.
The Coward.
Jesse James and the Coward.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was interesting.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I thought it was well done. Yeah.
I thought that was amazing, and they had no music.
The guy did good playing Bob Ford, but Lucas Black would have been terrific too. Boy, he would have been great playing that part.
Yeah.
No, I like some of what Brad Pitt does. Did you ever see him do the movie Snatch?
Oh,
yeah.
That's
He was fantastic. He was fantastic playing that gypsy. Because I know a little. I directed a movie once called Angelo, My Love, where I only used one professional actor, and all the rest of the actors were American gypsies, and they were terrific natural actors. But Brad Pitt, I think, went up to Northern Ireland and picked up that lingo. It was terrific.
Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Duvall, for all your time. You're awesome.
Thank you, Mr. Duvall.
And say hello to Dennis Miller and tell him next time I expect to talk to him.
What the?
Dennis Miller Show.
Norm has a CD. It's called Norm Macdonald. Ridiculous. It's coming out September 12th. It's a comedy CD, of course. And you got some famous people, a.k.a. friends of yours, to do some bits on there with you. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Some of my friends did it. So it was
Will
fun.
Ferrell, correct?
Yeah, the great Will Ferrell was in it. He was kind enough to do it.
Molly Shannon?
Yes, the great Molly Shannon was in it. She was kind enough. Some of this will be repetitious.
Is Tim Meadows great, or is he superb?
Tim Meadows is a real talent.
You got John Lovitz on there?
Yeah.
You ever see that guy play softball, by the way? Speaking of baseball and hats, you ever see him hit the ball?
I've seen him do stand-up. He tried starting stand-up when he was 50.
Really? What about those Subway commercials? That's kind of...
Yeah, it's great. He got a catchphrase for the first time in 18 years.
And what's the catchphrase?
Eat fresh.
Oh, eat fresh. And he gets to wear a bathrobe on TV.
Yeah.
I buy Subway sandwiches.
No, he's a really funny guy. He's hysterical.
How long...
up here? Yeah, no, I listened to that show, actually.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What did you play tennis with John Lovitz? What is that?
No, I played tennis with John Lovitz. Goes every day to the Beverly Wilshire and it's an expensive Beverly Hills hotel. I don't know what it's called. But anyways, the guy there, the coach, is Alex Almeida, who's a Peruvian tennis player from old, and he's very good. He played, he beat Ron Laver 3 times.
Right.
And so he's 60 or whatever, but a Peruvian 60.
Does that mean he's a young 60 or
yeah,
an old 60? He's a young 60.
Yes, sexy.
Peruvian 60. I like that.
Yeah, Peruvian 60. So you could still imagine him with a lady.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like my father when he was 60, it would be hard to imagine.
Yeah.
But a Peruvian, you can imagine. You can easily imagine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because my father, he doesn't know. He'd get you a Casio watch to a lady. That would be his thing. But these guys, they're more champagne on your spine, my darling. It's a whole different thing. Anyways, so it has nothing to do with his way with the ladies, the story. But John Lovitz got lessons from him every single day at this hotel.
Yeah.
So then he told me that he was really good at tennis. So I was like, I could beat you.
You just assume you can beat John Lovitz in anything, right?
Yeah. Because I played tennis 4 times.
Yeah.
I figured that's about what it would take to beat John Lovitz. So I said, yeah, I'll play it, And he goes, you'll never beat me. I play everybody. What are you talking about? I go, no, I'll play anything you want. So I go to the place, and I'm in my jeans and a leather jacket. I don't have clothes for tennis. I only played 4 times. So I get there, and they give me a club and everything, and a tennis racket. And I know, clearly, I'm going to beat John Lovitz. So we start playing, and, I just keep tinking them over a little bit, the little backspin, near the net, whatever that shot's called. So Lovitz lumbers over, and he can never get to it, And so I just beat him like 6-0 in the first set. So he starts thinking I'm doing something illegal by tinking it over the net.
The backspin backhand or whatever? Yeah.
He's never seen this. He thinks you're supposed to hit it to him.
Oh.
So he starts complaining because he's like, I play Alex and I can beat him. He's talking about beating Alex Almeida, the pro, the tennis
60-year-old Peruvian. Yeah.
He thinks. So I said, well, what? He goes, I beat him. I play him every day. And I go, well, Lovitz, this, a tennis pro is one of their big skills is they hit the ball so it will land on your racket.
Right.
So wherever you're standing, the ball is right there.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not true. Then he was convinced that I could beat Alex Almeida. He said, you've never seen anything like this, Alex. He tinks it over the net. This is Lovitz. So then I played, and then he wanted to really win, you know, and he kept playing me, and I said, oh, God. So one day I was like, he was just getting so angry and everything, so I let him win one game.
Yeah.
And then he quit. He retired.
On top.
Yeah, calling himself the champ.
Like John Elway.
Yeah, exactly. He won one game. He goes, doesn't matter. It's whoever won last. That's what they do in boxing. And I was saying, well, boxing, they do have to defend them, but whatever.
That's funny.
I need your love. You free my mind. I need your love. Yeah, you free my mind. Still alive.
What happened the time you and Norm Macdonald played tennis? There's a story that he showed up in a leather jacket and jeans.
Yeah, I know. I know. He tells that story, and I don't know why he's so into it.
Oh, it's a
But I
funny
play tennis all the
visual.
time.
It's a funny visual. Him dressed like that.
What he left out is that we're playing, and he I play all the time. He never plays, right? But he can get the ball, but he dinks it back, and he has no rhythm. Anyway, when someone just like floats every ball, if you're not used to it, you can't get any rhythm, and it's just hard to play. So he won, but what he left out was after every point, he'd leave the court for like a minute and brag to his assistant about how, look what just happened. Then he'd come back, 1 point, he'd leave again. So I go, Norm, do you want to play? And he just kept leaving. It was very frustrating, and so he won. So then I said to my coach, I go, how do you beat a guy like that? It's so frustrating. The ball's just, and my teacher's guy, Alex Olmedo, who's you're into sports. Look him up. He was a champion college player, Wimbledon champion, Rod Laver, Emerson, who won Wimbledon. He's in the Hall of Fame from Peru. Great guy. So he said, just step in and take it early. And I go, could you beat someone like that? He goes, what are you kidding? I'd kill him. I go, all right, fine. So then we played again, and then I just, I creamed him and I beat him. So also, I wasn't trying as hard the first set because he was, he's not as good. So I'm just taking it easy. But then he
was wearing jeans and a leather jacket.
Well, he beat you 6-0 the first time, didn't he?
6-0? No, he wasn't wearing. I don't remember what he was wearing. He didn't beat me 6-0. He's full of crap.
That's what he told him.
So then we played again, and then I beat him quite easily. And he goes, let's play again. I said, no, I don't play you again. Because when I knew he'd want to play after I beat him, last time we played, I beat him, and that's that.
Give us a good league
but
of
he cheats, and he's not fun to play with.
Of course.
So he tells this story,
Right. Give us a good league of their own story. Lovitz! Just back off for a second.
Hey, he's being Lovitz. This is what Lovitz does.
I know.
Man.
This is what he does. Him and Norm, both of them. Give us a good league of their own story.
So let me think if I can think of a joke. It only seems fair. Jeez, I don't know a lot of jokes. Oh, I know a joke. There was a guy who had a great pig, man. This guy had the greatest pig in the world. And so a guy come to his house and said, man, I hear you got the greatest pig in the world. So the farmer goes, are you kidding? You talking about Bill? The guy goes, I don't know, man. I just heard it was a pig. I didn't know it was a name. He goes, yeah, his name's Bill. Bill the pig. And this pig, man, he's the best. He goes, why do you say that? How come you say that? You got any examples? He goes, I got examples. He goes, last summer, man, he goes, our child fell into the well, and was in the well. We didn't even know, and the pig came running. I was at the back 40 hoeing, and the pig grunted and snorted, and I just got my son out just in time. God bless that pig, The pig had a wooden leg, by the way. I forgot to tell you that part. And so then he goes, yeah, that's interesting, but he's got a wooden leg. He goes, let me tell you more about the pig. He goes, then another time, he goes, that pig saved my life, man. I was under the tractor, and a pig, with his own weight, pushed up the tractor and hurt his spine. He had disc issues later, but he did it for me on account he loves me. And he goes, well, but still, you only got the wooden leg. Never mind that, the guy says. He says, listen to my stories about the pig.
He goes, this pig, well, you know, last summer, the big fire, you heard about the big fire? You never heard about it? It was a big fire. It was a big fire all down the rural Route 20 here, and it hit our house the worst. Anyways, the wife and I are very sound sleepers, and we didn't hear anything. And if it weren't for the pig who hit his snout on the window outside of our bedroom, hit it with such ferocity that it smashed the window open, and we escaped, you know, the black smoke, then we would not be alive today. Why we belong to this pig. This pig, we would not exist without it. It's our most prized possession, if you could even call it that. We love that pig more than anything. And so then the guy said, but I still don't understand. How come it's got a wooden leg? And then the guy says, are you kidding me, man? Have you even been listening to me? You can't eat a great pig like that all at once. You know? You haven't heard a word I've said? What is wrong with you?
And you often speak of your native Canada.
Yeah, I love Canada.
You mention it a lot.
Yeah, a couple of people.
3 to be exact.
Yeah, they like it.
That's important. Where are you from? Are you from a big city? Where are you from?
I'm from a little town. It's called Monkland, and it's only 108 people.
108? That's small.
It's country, you know. It's really rural. And but man, I'll tell you, there's lots of funny stories from there.
Well, I'm sorry we don't have time. Thank you very much for coming, Norm. It was good having you here. It was Norm Macdonald. Good night, everybody.
It's farm people, you
there
know.
are funny stories from this town.
Yeah, it's farm people. They all seem to be, you know, there all seem to be a funny story. I remember one time.
There better be, Norm.
There was a guy, man. He lived down the road. His name was John Neil Mergerison. And this guy, I went to him once. I've been away for a couple of years, you know. I moved to the city, you know, and I came back. And I said, John Neil, how you doing? You know, I went to his what do you got, farm? And
yeah,
so he showed me his pigs. He had a bunch of pigs there, you know. He had a bunch of pigs, a bunch of them, and one of the pigs had a wooden leg, you know.
What?
Oh yeah, a wooden leg. So I thought that was odd, you know. So I says to him, I says, John Neil, that's odd. There, what's that pig? What's the story with that pig? So John Neil, he goes, oh man, Norm, he says, that's a special pig. He goes, you wouldn't believe that pig. I go, yeah? Well, tell me about it. He goes, that pig, you wouldn't believe it. He says, last winter, you know, he goes, the house burned down. You know, you probably heard, the house burned down. And he says, me and the wife, we were sleeping in our bed. And he says, we never would have heard. We never would have heard. We never would have woken up. But he goes, that pig, he broke out of his pen. He ran all the way to the house. And he went up to the bedroom window, you know. And he says he starts hitting his little snout on a window, you know. And he says, me and the wife, we woke up. And we got out, man, just in time. We escaped that inferno. He didn't use the word inferno. He's just a farmer.
But you threw that in there.
Yeah, he said, we escaped that conflagration, you know. So I go, man, that's quite a story about the pig. He goes, oh, man, it doesn't stop there. I go, really? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, just later after that, like the following summer, me and the wife were plowing in North 40, and our little boy, only 2 years old, man, fell into the well, and all alone, you know, and we no way we could do anything. We were plowing, and he says we didn't hear, you know, and he says, man, you know, we're getting older. We're probably not going to have another kid. You know, that kid means everything to us. I go, I know, John Neil, I know that. You don't have to tell me that. So I said, what happens? He goes, that's their very same pig. He says, he heard the child's wailing plaintive cry. He didn't say plaintiff, you know, he's a farmer. But he says he heard the child. He broke out of his pen. He ran all the way to the well. He looked down. There was the poor son of ours there, Billy, you know, down at the bottom of the well. He says the pig, he took his snout there. He started pulling up on a rope.
and the kid got right out, you know, and man, that's great, isn't it? And I go, man, that's the greatest story I ever heard. Man, oh, what a pig. I said, what a pig that is. I said, one question though, John Neal. I said, he got a wooden leg. I don't understand that part. Pig got a wooden leg over there. John Neal goes, man, he goes, what are you crazy? He says, a great pig like that, you can't eat them all at once. You know, he says,
Mr. Abraham Lincoln, everybody.
yeah,
All right. I can never forgive you.
There's questions that came from the Twitterverse or whatever you want to call it.
All right.
Do you want to hear them?
What else could we do with them?
Stand-ups
Hear them.
sometimes secretly want to play a dramatic role. Have you ever seen a guy?
No, stop.
But you've seen comics, and then they're on a show, and they're a guy that's soft in the head. And, huh?
Yeah. This is from Twitter. I'm much more interested.
Okay.
That's a regular person.
Okay. But what do you think of that? Like I've seen Burl, and
I feel sorry for them.
Do you feel this? Is how I feel. I think maybe you agree with this. To be a comic actor, so rare, isn't it? And
you mean comic / actor?
No, a comic actor. Like my favorite movie
John Ritter?
My favorite movie, yes, like John Ritter. My favorite movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles because I love John Candy in it so much. And to be a comic,
he's Canadian.
Yeah, but to be a comic actor is so rare, and to be a dramatic actor is so common that why would a great comic actor want to be a
1,000%. 1,000%. I thought this when I was a kid, starting out in the business, when in my 20s. I said, why? Somebody asked me, would you ever do a dramatic role? I go, they got people for that.
Right.
They got millions of people for that.
Yeah.
Let those people do it. The greatest thing in the world is a funny guy. It relieves the burden of life.
Did you like that movie, that Preston Sturges film?
It's my favorite movie.
Sort of encapsulates
Sullivan's
that?
Travels.
Oh, that's your favorite movie.
It's the greatest movie. Well, The Graduate's my favorite movie to watch as a movie.
Yeah.
But what it's about.
But what Sullivan's Travels is exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly what you're talking about. And did you say
How about you? Is that
I love Sullivan's Travel
to you?
for that because it surprised me. I didn't expect it.
Right. What surprises you about me?
What surprises
you about me?
You mean just during this interview?
Just in general.
You seem kind.
That's surprising?
Uh-huh. Because I would think you were cold.
Right.
And yet you're warm.
Oh, thank you.
And in your eyes, I always go by eyes.
Again,
I always go by eyes.
You should.